It's the I Can't Mom Today podcast with Heather, the new mom, and Vera, the seasoned mom. I Can't Mom Today.
Hey, this is Vera and Heather back again with another episode of I Can't Mom Today podcast. Hi, Vera.
Hello, Heather. How's things?
I just started that off really harsh. I was like, literally second before I said that, I was like, ah! And hey, how are you?
Right?
Yeah, things are going good. You know, time change nonsense and work nonsense and just a lot of nonsense right now where you're just like, I'm just trying to live peacefully.
Oh, I know. Big time. And that's, I was thinking about that. I was talking to Jerry about this. It's not only, well, and again, too, this morning I was watching the news and they were talking about, new scams that are coming out. So like one of them is like, be careful with QR codes because scammers. So like you'll see a QR code somewhere and it'll say, scan the QR code to get directions for whatever. Well, then scammers will put a fake QR code on top of the existing QR code and then it ends up taking you somewhere that, where it collects all your information and, just it just feels like everywhere you turn, you're either getting a text message or an email or a phone call or now QR code that somebody's trying to get something out of you and
just get a job.
Yeah. Well, and I did finally, if anybody remembers from a while ago, I'm sure you do, finally disconnected my Xfinity internet.
Oh.
I've had both that and the fiber optic because
Why?
I couldn't get my pool automation to work with the fiber optic. Oh. And long story short, I had the guy problems. Yeah, exactly. But I had the Metronet guy here. We thought we fixed it. Well, we didn't fix it. And then I've been on the phone with different people. I called the pool company and, blah, blah, blah. You know what it was? Finally, all I had to do, I called the company that makes the automation system. And the girl on the phone was like, She was like, it's not this. I was like, nope, tried that. It's not this. Nope, tried that. Nope. Finally, she was like, well, the only thing I can think of is try unplugging the antenna for 10 seconds and plug it back in. Guess what?
It worked. Yeah, sometimes things need to reset like that. I mean, it sounds stupid and it sounds like people are being, very, very curt with you or whatever.
Well, yeah. Well, and so what, because I had done everything else. I'd unplugged it from the router, turned the router off and on. I just didn't think to unplug the antenna, basically. So it was the one thing that I didn't unplug. But I said to her, I was like, girl, if I could reach through the phone, I would kiss you. Like, you don't
meow, get it.
Yeah. And she was laughing. She was like, well, I'm really glad that I could help. And so then I got all my wires, everything figured out and neatened everything up. And then my internet's not working. I'm like, what the hell? So then I call Metronet and it was because, by the way, if anybody ever gets fiber optic internet, you need to know this. There's a skinny little wire, which is the fiber optic cable. Do not wrap that up too tight. Because that was the next thing I learned is apparently the wire is very delicate. So, I tried to wrap it up and make it so all nice. So I have less of an octopus of, cable wires and everything. And, it was too tight. So once I loosened it up, everything's fine. So everything's fine now.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
It was only a few hours out of my life.
Oh my God. Yeah, and months of payment, double payments.
Well, exactly. And not only, so part of the reason I brought this whole thing up was because, of course, when I call to cancel my Xfinity, I get rebuttal. Yeah. And so finally, I just was like, can you please just disconnect me? I just want to be, but we can get you back down. No. I'm like, yeah, that's after last month when you tried to charge me $90. It was like, no. So then sure enough, they call my phone after, I'm on the road on Friday with Jerry and he picks up, I never pick up a number I don't recognize, but of course because I'm driving. So he picks it up and then, can we speak to Vera? So I end up on the phone with another freaking Xfinity person. And I was like, she's like, well, we just want to know why and blah, blah, blah. We can
because
like,
it doesn't matter.
I paid you way too much money. And now you want more of my time
and money.
And I said, I'm very sorry, but I don't have the time for this. I want to be disconnected. That's it. Goodbye.
Immediately.
And I hung up on her. Yes.
Yeah. Good.
So, but anyways, all those things, I've been thinking about that between the scams and Like it's physically and mentally and emotionally exhausting. And it's no wonder why people are falling apart.
Yeah, for sure. I set up a business in Colorado for my Reiki, stuff. And they just sent me an email. They're like, secure your business with this extra thing. I'm like, shouldn't you? And I've noticed this for years. I'm like, I could just go in there and say I'm whoever, and file paperwork for another business. But I mean, granted, it's illegal, but the people that do it don't care if it's illegal. So I'm like, shouldn't it be secure already? Why are we just now thinking of this in 2023?
Right.
Like, why do I have to do something extra? Why is it not just secure?
Right. Yeah. Well, now too, they're having issues with the 2-factor authorization. So another thing that I saw that you need to watch out for is you might get like this text that says, hey, somebody's trying to access your bank account. Here's your 2-factor authorization code. Call this number with that code to secure your bank account. And it's a scam. So if you ever get a 2-factor authorization code sent to your phone that you did not do anything to warrant having one come to you, it's spam, it's scam. Yep.
Perfect.
Yeah. Isn't that fun? Just another thing to worry about. Yeah. Cause it's like, so, but with that said,
go back to rotary phones.
Seriously. Although those would be like, if you had to dial with an area code, it'd be 10 minutes later, you're still dialing. Cause it'll be like,
yeah.
Yeah. Oh God. Radio contests were a nightmare.
Well, did they happen back in radio? And
yeah, they did. I did that.
I don't remember party lines, but I heard that there's something called the party line.
I remember those. Yep.
Actually, we did have something similar to that when I was in high school. It didn't last very long. It was very short lived.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, yeah.
Anyway. So that kind of ties into what I wanted to talk about. We mentioned the last episode about the movie Stutz that Jonah Hill made about his therapist.
I'll give you all my thoughts on it.
Yeah, because Heather didn't watch it. That was your homework.
I'm sorry.
Because
listen,
I know you're
time change.
not busy.
Time change. We did bowling this weekend. There's a lot of stuff because we had a charity event that we went to for one of my side gigs.
Okay. So yes. So anyways, so it's a documentary that Jonah Hill made about his therapist because he felt that this guy, Phil Stutz, just helped him out so phenomenally. Plus, they had developed this really such a beautiful friendship. And it's slow moving. I mean, it's not action packed by any means, but there were so many like nuggets of wisdom. And it's sweet because you see the relationship between the two of them. And of course, I cried because it doesn't take much to make me cry. But some of the things that he I've like literally Luke and I have started to use them in our everyday lives. So I wanted to share some of those things and recommend the movie. If you get a chance to watch it, it's on Netflix. It's called Stutz, Stutz. And it's interesting. I mean, it is just interesting. And one of the things I wanted to point out was he talks about your life force. And if you think of your life force like in a triangle, at the very bottom, so, obviously the fattest part, the most important part at the very bottom is just taking care of yourself physically. So making sure you eat right, you get some exercise, not to look good, but just to feel good. So even if it's just walking around the neighborhood for half an hour every day or, just something simple, and getting enough sleep, getting 8 hours of sleep every day. He said that if you can achieve those 3 things, that's like 85% of your life force.
Taking care of yourself. I must have missed
so
one.
Taking care of yourself is the bottom part of the pyramid. So, and within taking care of yourself is eating right, sleeping, and getting the exercise to feel good.
I obviously tuned out the eating right part. So,
you should cut back on the jujubes, Heather.
I don't like jujubes. Actually, I do not like them. No.
What was it? Was it Mike and Ike's that you had in your car that one time?
No, it would have been like Skittles or something. Skittles, probably.
It was some kind of candy that I remember when we were first friends. I was like, what adult has boxes of candy in their car?
It would have been probably Skittles.
Okay. I just remembered it incorrectly. Anyways, so that was one of the things. And then the top 2 portions, there's only 3 portions of the pyramid. the top two that include relationships with others, that's in the middle, and then relationships with the relationship with yourself, which I thought was interesting. So that's the life force pyramid. But 85%, he said, is literally just taking care of yourself and trying to develop good eating habits, good getting moving and sleeping.
And that's all that is hard.
It is. So, and he certainly doesn't say it's easy, but it was interesting too, because Jonah Hill said, growing up, he's always been overweight, and his mother was always trying to help him not be overweight. And he would resist, and she'd try and get him to exercise. And he would say, "This is BS. Why am I exercising? I don't care. Screw this." And he said he kind of wishes that the world, instead of thinking about exercising to look good, we thought about it as exercising to feel good. And he said, if it was presented to me like that, I think I might have responded better. But I felt like everybody was telling me to exercise to look good.
Yeah.
And that was different. Like, wait a minute, there's something wrong with me. I'm not attractive. So that was one of the things I took away from the film. And then another thing was he calls string of pearls, which is every time you do something, you put a pearl on your string, like, mentally, or you can even, draw it if you want. Like if you have a journal or a notebook that you like to write stuff down in, and it doesn't matter how big or how small. So if you just make your bed in the morning, that's a pearl. If you comfort a friend, that's a pearl. If you get your car washed, that's a pearl. Or, brush your teeth, pearl. Whatever it is, just the things that you're even getting out of bed, that can be a pearl. Because sometimes it's hard. Jonah Hill even said, he's like, one of the hardest things that I find, and I can identify with this totally. I hate getting out of bed. Every single day. Doesn't matter how much I've slept. I hate it. It's a lot of work for me to get out of bed. So I give myself mentally a pearl now every morning I get out of bed. And he says, if you don't make there's a point to making them all the same size, because who's going to evaluate how important this is over that? So sometimes just getting out of bed is really hard for people. So that's just a pearl. That's a pearl, man. You show up at work, pearl. Actually get work done, pearl.
So if it was hard, or just that you got it done?
Just you got it done. So whatever you did.
I brushed my teeth.
Pearl. And he said too, even if you get it done and it's not perfect, he said, and a lot of these pearls will have a little turd on them. So even if you don't do it perfectly, it's still a pearl. Might have a little turd on it. A lot of pearls do, but that's okay. You still get the pearl.
Okay.
So I don't know why mentally, and he draws these little pictures and they're really cute. And he has Parkinson's, and he has since he was in his 20s, and he's, I don't know, probably in his 70s now.
Oh, I thought you were talking about
not Jonah Hill. Yeah.
I was like, what?
No, the psychiatrist does. Yeah.
Okay.
So, so he's got this shaky handwriting, but he makes it, and he gives these little cards to his clients to draw, because he says, I'm a very visual person. So he draws the string of pearls or the life force pyramid. And I'm very visual. So again, that really spoke to me. So in my head, I have this string of pearls now every day. And I think, I just got a pearl.
Nice.
And I don't know, it just sticks with you somehow. And then the third thing that I wanted to bring up, there's a whole bunch of other stuff. So I highly recommend the movie. But the other thing I wanted to share was, he says that there are three things in life that it's never going to change. One is there's going to be pain, uncertainty, and constant work. And he's like, you can strive for life to be perfect and think, oh, someday if I have enough money, or if I do this, or, life's going to be, sunshine and rainbows. He said it never is.
Yeah.
Always at least one of those things is going to be happening. There's either going to be work, pain, or uncertainty. It's that's just life. And that could sound very depressing at first, but his point is that, bringing you back to the string of pearls, there can be, and there is actually joy when you make it through one or all of those things. So the fact that it's constant work to get out of bed, make the bed, whatever, But once you make the bed, you're kind of like, oh, check me out. I got a pearl. And it feels good that I made the bed. And then when I get into the bed tonight, it's going to be all nice and sheets are going to feel good. It's going to be way better. Pearl. Yeah. Well, and you got the pearl. So if you, it's kind of changing your mindset to some degree, but his point is that you're going to be depressed if you think that there's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow as far as life is concerned. It's always going to be hard to some degree. But if you accept that and move within it and find the joy in the little things, all those little pearls, that you'll actually start to enjoy life a lot better rather than striving for this thing out there that doesn't exist.
Yeah, no, totally. I feel like I do that a lot, but I've tried not to, like, just kind of live in the moment, appreciate what you have right now. Mm-hmm. Even that's hard. You know me, I'm the kind of person, but I really try to not look too forward because I get frustrated because I'm like, why am I not here right now? You know, whatever. So I think that's really important because I think we all do that. And on some level, it's going to be, oh, if I lose 5 pounds, I'm going to feel better. I'm going to do more things. Oh, if I eat better, I'm going to, lose weight. Or, oh, if I work 5 extra minutes at work, I'll be caught up. No, something's going to come up.
Exactly. Sorry. And speaking of, Cinnamon, if you heard her, she was agreeing with you. Oh, there she is.
Hi, Cinnamon.
She's here. Can you grab her? You can get her. She doesn't like to be picked up. It's okay. You can leave her. It's fine. She'll just interject.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I think we all do that on some level, and it's taking the time to say, what do you appreciate now? Or maybe looking back, and they say don't, because there's so much information out there, right? Don't look back, look forward. Don't look at being the present. And just all these messages are being told to us, and you just can't figure out which one is the best message to have. And so what I really try to do, and I try to help and think of it as in, what would you say to your child? Like, would you say, like what I say to Baker, well, in 6 months, if you keep doing this, you're going to be really great? Or do I say, hey, look where you are now and look where you were 5 months ago. Look at the progress you've made.
True. Yeah.
And so it's not like, well, it's not looking back in the sense of like, well, if I wouldn't have done that, then I wouldn't be here. It's look how much progress you've made, or look how much things have changed. Look at what you've done since then, or look what you've gone through and endured. Maybe that's sometimes that can be a thing, because sometimes you don't always progress, right? Something happens and you're like, your world explodes and you're like, what is going on? But then you look at how far hard. Yeah. You look at how far, what you had done to that point, and then how far you've grown since then. Like, look what you're going through and you're getting through.
Yes, exactly. And I think that's kind of what his philosophy is stop looking at that perfection, because at some point you're going to start to realize that doesn't exist. And then you're just going to be depressed and think, what's the point?
Yeah, that's true.
Like your kid, as much as a parent, you try so hard to give them everything you possibly can and raise them the right way. And, next thing you know, they're, whatever. I won't get into that.
Yeah.
So yeah. Right. Cinnamon. See, she agrees. She totally agrees. So yeah. Meow.
Well, if you have any life suggestions that we can share with everyone in our groups, please head on over to I Can't Mom Today podcast on Facebook or Instagram or Gmail. Hit us up.
Let us know.
We are not the experts. We just try to share.
Yes. Share things that help us, that could possibly help you.
Yeah.
Yay.
All right. Until next time. Oh, wait. Bye. Did you want to say anything about stickers?
Oh, yeah. We still have stickers left. So if you want a free limited edition, not really, but free while they last sticker. And we promise, if you just email us your address or DM us, we promise we will literally send you the sticker and rip up your address. We will not put you on any list or anything like that. Don't worry, because the last thing we want is to be harassed. So we won't harass you.
Agreed. I still haven't gotten my sticker.
I know.
She will care about you more than she cares about me. I need two, by the way, one for each of her. All right, until next time.
Bye.
Bye.